Welcome to This Life of Mine. I am Ellis. As you know, if you've watched the last 4 videos that I've done on this channel, sun's blowing across the beach. Oh, it's windy. Storm Amy has battered us for about 3 or 4 days with these strong gale force winds. So welcome back. I'm going to go through a few little things today. It's October the 6th, so we are well and truly into autumn. I'm still wandering around in a t-shirt, and I always wander around in shorts. But to be still wandering around in a t-shirt is a-okay for me. In fact, life is better. Tank tops and flip-flops, that's what I say. If I could live every single day of my life in just a pair of shorts, a pair of flippy-flop thong type sandals and a vest, I'd be happy. Holy Island videos being out for probably over a week coming up now, and I do get some nice comments. I'll get 10 or 12 comments. I sometimes wonder, if I was 25-year-old, 30-year-old female, people don't want to watch a middle-aged man discussing ghosts and history and quirky things like that. I'm at a level of acceptance with this channel that I know at the moment most of these videos are going to hit less than 50 views. Damn it! So I've reined it in a little bit now in that I've split the channels off. So I've now got my history channel, as you know, which has got the Holy Island, Haunted Holy Island. Go and check that out. That's the latest installment on there. Ella, where are you going? Ella, come here. Don't run off. Where are you going? There's a ball here. Ah, there's a big log up there. It's got my name on it. I'm going to go and sit on it. So let's continue. I'll take the lead off. So I had some bad news in the week. A friend of mine in America, an elderly friend of mine, passed away. She had cancer, stage 4 liver cancer. She lives in Florida in Orlando, a lady called Carol, and she'd worked for about 12 years at Walt Disney World, and she was up for the fight. She was completely and utterly well up for the fight. She was my US mum. That's how I referred to her. And she would always impart advice. How I met her was she read my Everest book, and she reached out to me after reading Everest. And during the process of writing my second autobiography in 2021, she got a sneak preview. She was reading each chapter as I wrote it. I was talking to her about my new tattoo. The last message I got back from her said, "Love it." There'd never be 2 or 3 days where we wouldn't speak. And then there was a blanket silence for about a week, and I thought, something's not right here. Finally, her husband and her son reached out to me to say that she'd suffered a massive stroke. She passed away a few days later. So I never really got to say my goodbyes to her, really, in a way. The last words she ever said to me was, "Love it." And it's so right, because life should be all about love. Should I get that tattooed on my arm? Love it. Lovely woman. I'm going to miss her. I'm going to miss her incredibly. I'm going to miss our conversations. Even this morning, I thought, I must send Carol a message. Sometimes you get into a habit of speaking to somebody regularly, and when they're no longer there, it throws you for 6, doesn't it? It knocks you out of your equilibrium. And it has. She was all for this YouTube journey. She used to love watching my YouTube videos. She'd be my #1 fan. She'd be bigging me up constantly, telling me how great she thought the videos were. And so here's to Carol. She was 1 in a million. There's never going to be another Carol. This is my virtual coffee shop here on the beach. We're sat having a coffee, and I'm telling you a little bit about my life. It's just a one-way process. Obviously, we don't have a 2-way conversation here. This is just unfiltered life, isn't it? There's nothing fancy schnancy about this. What's that? The movie that Kevin Costner filmed, Field of Dreams. If you build it, he will come, they will come. That's kind of what I think with the YouTube channel. If I record these videos, people will come. Well, they haven't in 2 years. Some people are watching. I've been to some dark places in my life. I had some phenomenal experiences. I had some not so good experiences. Certainly over the last 10 years. I've always thought that I was destined for more. I could never settle for normal, whatever normal is. Professionally, I've never been quite fulfilled. Quite a long way off where I want to be in life. For me, I'd love to be able to get to a level where you get excited to think I'm going to put a video out. Does that make sense? That you might be looking forward to another Ellis inspired meandering, walking along a beach, walking wherever. I know it's been predominantly beach based to begin, because I'm just seeing out the end of the nice weather here in the UK before winter takes hold. Winter's coming. So I hope you are like me. I hope you warm to me. I hope you want to come back and watch some of these episodes, whether that's cosmic ordering, which I'm a big believer in. I've said this previously, that I do believe in something, and the something I believe in is the universe. I will send my prayers out to the universe. When I ask for something, I ask the universe for it. The universe is my divine, all-being, all-seeing, all-powerful being. And I think it's nice to have that faith. It is a level of faith, because we all need that. I think we all need to have something. We need to think there's more to life than this. We need to believe that we've all got something else to look forward to when our moment of crossing over comes. It's probably why I'm so interested in ghosts and the like, because it's proof that universe exists. If ever I saw evidence of that, And anybody who looks at ghost history, I'm not a paranormal investigator. My videos, I'm never going to go and do a lock-in in a haunted hotel. I might stay in a hotel, but I'm not going to be there with all the equipment and paraphernalia trying to search out ghosts. But I'll just talk to you about my experience there. But I'm more intrigued by other people's experiences, by ghost stories, because I often wonder, if people are telling these things, then clearly either everybody's lying or people have actually had real paranormal, otherworldly experiences. And that's what I'd like to believe. Wouldn't we all? We can't all go through our life thinking this is it, you know, and then we all die, put in a box, we're cremated or we're buried under 6 feet of soil, and that is it. I don't believe that. I think we go on in some capacity. I think the human soul is such a powerful creation. It's such a powerful entity. And I think it has to go on. We create so much energy in this life, and we leave such a positive energy trail wherever we go. Well, most decent people do. I'm not talking about the bad people in life. They can create their negative energy trails and they can go the other way. But for anybody positive in life, anybody kind, anybody decent, anybody who's living a wholesome life, who's making a difference in this world, their energy is just immense. There's so many people who I admire and look up to who've created a legacy. I keep thinking I've lost Ella. She's away down there. She's on the coastline, just running backwards and forwards, playing with a rock. I'm just loving this weather. If it can hold for the rest of this week, I'll be happy. Or later this week, I'm heading back into York. Another history video is coming your way. A return to York fairly quickly after the Plague Pit one. And the reason for that is because I like going into York in October time. It's haunted York. That's what the council stylise it as, and it's a great time to be in the city because there's so much going on. Not only the Wymesh ghosts that I recorded last year, which I'll probably do a little new feature on that this year, but I'm going to now go more inside establishments. I've done a lot of talking outside of places in York. So for instance, the first video that I do this week, I'm going to talk about some haunted hidden pubs that are tucked away in different corners of the city that you might not necessarily have heard about. And I'm actually going to go into each establishment, but each pub has to have a ghost story. That's the key here. And then it would be rude not to sample one of their delicacies. So I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be a real hoot when I get back into York later this week, because there's so much history in such a small concentrated area of North Yorkshire. It comes alive with history. I could spend a week there and only touch 10% of the history that's in that entire city. That's why I go back to York, and because it's quite mysterious and haunted and paranormal and spooky, and just it's got so much good vibes going on. Hence why I've got a separate playlist on my history channel all for that fascinating city, Jorvik, Iberacum, York. She's over there. That's what I'm looking at right now. Clear blue skies, slight breeze, big wide open beach looking towards, that's the seaside town of Seaton Carew it's called. If you want to go on Google Maps and have a look at that, you'll see where I am right now. You'll see where my location is in the world. Who knows what the tide will bring tomorrow or the day after. I might feel like coming and doing another video tomorrow, and then everything else I'll be saying will be totally different to what I've been speaking about today. I've been quite thoughtful today, in quite a reflexive mood. So with that said, thank you for joining me today on this life of mine. I really do hope you like this type of raw, off-the-cuff video commentary that I do. It's just me putting that little piece of me out into the world, really. Early to bed, early to rise, work like hell and advertise. If you're proud of something, or if you want to do something and you want to show the world what you're doing, do it. Yeah, you might get a kickback for it. You probably might get criticized for it. You might get toxic negativity, those bad comments. But you know what? Comments can be deleted. One thing I've learned in this life is human beings can be nasty. So I'll see you on my next video. Thank you for watching. In the meantime, hop over to my history channel if you haven't already and check out my Haunted Holy Island episode from last week. I had great fun there, and I'm really proud of the video as well. So keep wondering and keep wondering, and I'll see you on my next video.